I saw that Arizona and Texas are pushing back. They're fighting back because they have been saying all along to the federal government, look, you're bringing all these people in, but you're not giving us any resources. Then we saw the federal government just flying these people to different cities all over the nation and infiltrating communities. And it seems to be targeted in that regard as well, that they might be trying to put those into conservative areas to skew and to change populations and voting and that type of thing. But some of these states are pushing back and busing people to D.C., which I find almost humorous, actually, that they're giving them a taste of their own medicine. And as soon as they have, now we have Mayor Bowser, who's pulling in the National Guard because she needs help now, right? They need help to try to deal with this problem. But when Texas and Arizona have been crying out all along, say, we need help. What are you doing? You know, you're destroying our cities, our towns, you're destroying our resources and our communities. They weren't getting any help from the federal government. And we've heard so many things about defunding the police, about taking down ICE and not having these rules and laws. This is an agenda, is it not, Nathan? I mean, how do we turn everybody against those that keep peace and that are enforcing law? Why would they do that?
Well, if they take away the teeth of the lion, right, it's just a big cat. And that's what they're trying to do. The law enforcement stands for truth, right? In Romans 13, you know, we're supposed to carry the sword, and we don't carry the sword, you know, to do evil, but to bring righteousness.
Right. And you shouldn't have to carry it in vain either.
Exactly. That's just it, right? It's a purpose, you know, and they want to, the people that espouse these ideology and thoughts, they want to get rid of that because they want, in essence, they want to be able to do what they want. They don't want to be held accountable. And in an area like DC, the district, which is a sanctuary location, you know, where they've long since not cooperated, right, with anything immigration related enforcement wise. And so they're seeing the repercussions. The other point to bring up is for the people that are being bused up to that location. As far as my knowledge is, all that is done by consent of the person. So where some people, I've seen some comments in the news were like, oh, they're arresting people and just putting them on the bus and driving them from Arizona to DC and dropping them off. That's not happening. Not from a state side, you know. The people will be transported with their consent, but there's plenty of recent border crossers that come in and they don't want to be on the southern border. They want to come north because there's more jobs, there's more opportunities. To get farther away from criminal activity. You can't, it's almost near impossible to come across this southern border and to be smuggled in or to come in yourself and not involve yourself in some way with a criminal enterprise, either cartels, and get tied up in it and things like that. Because the cartels control all the routes. You know, make no mistake about it. It's a fee for service type thing. If you want to cross through on this trail, you pay the person that quote unquote thinks they own it. And that's your permission to pass. Wow. So yeah, it's and it not only that, but it's spreading out people that we may not have been properly vetted. You know, historically and currently, it's very hard to vet someone coming from another country where that country may not have accurate records or may not have accurate record sharing with the U.S. government. And so there's it's not as simple as just, you know, plugging a couple numbers and some information into a computer system and getting a full readout on this person. These systems don't talk and not in any kind of volume sharing. So that's another, it's very problematic. And, you know, once they're here, there's no accountability, right? And that, unfortunately, as we've seen, and it's covered in all the news, they're just releasing them. There's no accountability for sure. Wow. Right? And what's to make people show up if they are told, hey, you need, let's say, for example, you need to go to DC and report to X office. Well, what if they don't?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's no, you know, the only recent change to that, which I think, you know, we may see is, it was in the news, the Supreme Court, you know, stopped the enforcement of the priorities memo under Secretary Mayorkas. So we'll still need to wait to see what the effects of that are across the, you know, the nation and how that's going to impact, you know, our border security.